Welcome to today's video. Today's video we're going to be talking about some changes the Model 3's had. Now, as many people know, Tesla are not a shape changer, they're an innovator. So they don't have new models released every couple of years and make massive changes. They try to make modifications to the cars as they're coming out the factory line, and basically the car is always evolving and changing. Now, the Model 3 in China had some massive modification changes to the Tesla Model 3, and the Model Y also had some modification changes that didn't come to the 3. Now, these changes have come to the Model 3 in Fairmont, and we're going to show you what the changes are, what they've got, and also some stuff that they've removed over the years on the Tesla Model 3, which is slightly annoying. So before we get into the benefits, all the new things they've added, let's get talking about what they've removed. Now, in here, in the frunk, whatever you want to call it, there is some little tow hook things, hooks, not tow hooks, tow hooks is the wrong word. They're little hooks that used to be on here. They used to be great for securing shopping bags. So if you bought some shopping, you put it in the frunk, you lift these little tabs up and they'd hold the bag still so they weren't sliding all over. Tesla have decided to remove them, but then instead of putting some cover over there so you don't see the bolts and it looks a bit more finished off, they decided to leave them off on purpose, and the only intention I can think is so you then buy these little clips that were on there from the Tesla store website. That's the only reason I can think why you wouldn't cover them up, because it just looks unfinished. In fact, I actually thought they were missing when I picked the first Model 3 up a couple of months ago for a customer. And yes, they're not missing, they just took them off. Also down here, I'm pretty sure when I took the one out in Hawaii, it used to have a piece of carpet in the bottom of here, but correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, forgetting even it did or didn't have any carpet, there's some more bolts down here, again, which looks unfinished. Just be nice if Tesla just put a piece of carpet in here, even if they didn't have one before, just to finish it off, just to make it look a little bit more completed rather than, you know, not bothered. Now, the biggest changes to the Model 3 is that they've now got USB-C ports in the back. So there used to be normal USB ports in the back of here. They've now changed them to match the Model Y, so they are now USB-C ports, which it is a great advantage. I am actually glad they fitted them. But if you're like me and still have a lot of USB devices, standard USB, you're going to have to get a USB-C adapter to plug anything in the back of here, which is absolutely fine because this car needs to be considered future-proof. So in the next 4 or 5 years, when all phones are now coming with the new USB standard, USB-C standard, you're going to be glad that Tesla have pre-thought about this and switched them. But what about the front ports? That's what you want to know about, innit? What have they done to the front? What have they done to the front indeed? Well, down here they have added one USB-C port, so that's the new standard port. They've added that, and they've also added a standard USB. So you have both at the front. You have the normal USB and a USB-C port. But they've also added something here, which is a wireless charging pad. Now, this is the one, it's very similar to the one that Tesla used to sell for about 200 quid. A lot of people used to buy, is it Jeddah or System? This has got a USB charging pad, but Tesla have used that USB-C port for their own charging pad. So you've actually got no USB port at the front, USB-C port at the front. You've just got a standard USB port because they've used their USB-C port for their wireless charging pad. What does slightly annoy me about this wireless charging pad is Tesla just didn't wire it in somewhere and not use one of the existing ports. I don't understand why they have used an existing port. It seems a little bit, I don't know, cheap. I mean, it's got its few advantages, which is if you don't want a wireless charging port, you can take it out, or if you don't want to use their port, you can take it out, or if it goes faulty, it's quite easy to change. But seeing that these come with a 4-year warranty, you get this replaced if it went wrong, so I don't really understand why they didn't just wire it in. Now, this one's obvious if you're a Tesla owner, which is the software has got better and better and better and better and better and better and better. It just keeps getting better. So if you buy a Tesla, guaranteed in a year's time from when you've had it, it's got better, and that is just something that's amazing. There's been so many changes. It's got new games on it, autopilot improvements, various bits of improvement. Obviously you've got the dash cam footage, you've now got reversing cameras where you can pull up the side cameras so you can actually see the wheel so you don't curb your alloys. It's got improvements that just keep happening and happening and happening, and that is something that doesn't happen in other automotive industries. You don't usually buy a car and get free updates to your car to make it better. Usually you have to take it to a dealer and pay for those updates, but Tesla have thought of all this and it's all over the air. You don't even have to go to the dealer. Just make sure it's on a Wi-Fi connection and it will instantly download, and that's just cool. Now, as well as giving you free wireless charging inside, changing all the ports inside, I mean, the biggest add here is they've actually given you a wireless charging port that they didn't give you before, which is, it's a nice little free upgrade that they've actually given you. Something else they've given you for free, which is a nice free upgrade, is they've given you front mud flaps. So these front mud flaps have been fitted. You also get rear mud flaps. But mine's not got rear mud flaps because Tesla forgot to put them on the car. So yeah, they're going to have to come out and fit them because they just left them in the boot. No idea why they didn't fit them. We'll get around to that later. But anyway, front mud flaps are fitted and rear mud flaps will be fitted as soon as they come out to fit them. So these are nice little added extras that you didn't normally get. It's nice to see that they're renovating and re-adding all these new features onto the Tesla Model 3. There is some improvements on the paintwork that I've noticed compared to the last one I got a couple of months ago. It's still not perfect, it's still nowhere near manufacturers. If Tesla sort this paintwork out, they will eat more of the saloon market. So the Tesla paint is not a difficult thing to get right. Just fix it, it's really not that hard. Thank you very much for watching this quick update. If you've enjoyed it, please check out my other videos. Please also consider subscribing and also check out my Patreon page. Thank you very much, and I will see you again next week.